Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. My name is Bill Alms. We are here today with Sarah Haas from United Way St. Croix Valley. She's the director of giveBig St. Croix Valley. Sarah, nice to meet you and nice to have you here.
Thank you very much, Bill. I'm glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what giveBig is, Sarah.
Sure. giveBig is a 24-hour online giving platform that was created. It started online about 13 years ago in the town of Osceola, and it was an opportunity for nonprofits in the area to kind of expand their reach on what they're doing in their communities, build an awareness for their missions and things like that, and then raise much needed dollars to sustain those missions. So it was created out of a need from actually a door-to-door campaign by a local Osceola resident who used to go door-to-door and raise money for local nonprofits. And it just became something that they looked forward to and they relied on. And so out of that came giveBig St. Croix Valley. Like I mentioned, it started in Osceola, but what happened is the neighboring towns saw the success that it was having, saw the impact it was having on those nonprofits, and they wanted to be part of it as well. So it started growing. It used to be under the foundation of the Osceola Hospital Foundation, but once it started growing out of the Osceola community, the foundation saw a need for it to be taken on by someone who could handle that capacity, and they approached the United Way at that time. And so 3 years ago, it became part of the United Way St. Croix Valley's programs. And we've expanded now. The last 2 years, we expanded into Hudson and River Falls. We're in New Richmond. And then this year we've expanded to all 3 counties in the St. Croix Valley: Polk, Pierce, and St. Croix County. So all nonprofits, 501(c)(3) nonprofits in those 3 counties can participate. They build a page, they get a page that they create, and then we market the day of giving for them, and then they market it on their own, obviously, to their own donors. But last year, we raised over $300,000 between the participating nonprofits. That was between the online giving as well as the offline giving, and a lot of our nonprofits obtain matching grants from different donors and different companies. So just an incredible opportunity for the nonprofits and an incredible community, a community event.
Wonderful. And so this went from an actual physical door-to-door to an online platform as it stands today?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
That's wonderful. How many nonprofits participate in giveBig?
Sure. Yep. This year we have 82 participating between the 3 counties. And, it ranges in terms of, when you go on the website, you can filter by category served, and it ranges from children and family to serving community to animals to mental health. You name it, we have a nonprofit that covers it for our communities.
Great. And so are we able to log in and give then just during that 24 hours, or is it more than 24 hours?
Well, it is more than technically the 24 hours. What happens is, between our sponsor companies that are so generous to sponsor giveBig and some of the registrations and things like that, we are able to give back over $10,000 in prize grants to the nonprofits. So, we make it a kind of a friendly little competition for them to really work hard to raise those dollars. This year, with the situation going on with the COVID, we did open up the giving on April 1st, and we are offering 8 golden ticket prizes for our nonprofits for any online donations received between April 1st and April 27th. So there are some dollars available to them for any early donations, which is great because there are people who want to give right now, and we're seeing that. And then on the 28th, we have a lot more prizes available to the nonprofits. So that's really the push. We try to ask donors to wait till the 28th if they can, just to help the nonprofits increase their chances at that prize pool.
So there's prizes given. So the more people give to a nonprofit, the more that those nonprofits have an ability to make even more dollars then?
Yes. So what happens is every hour of Give Big, we have two $100 golden tickets. And so any donation received and given to that nonprofit, no matter the amount, if it's $5 or $1,000, it's the same amount of chances. So that donor's name goes into an automatically generated pull for that hour. And then whatever nonprofit is pulled gets that extra $100. This year we added Royal Credit Union sponsored two, what we're calling, what are power hours. And those are $625 a piece. And those are going to be at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And what happens there is the nonprofit with the most unique donors during that hour is eligible. And what a unique donor is a single donor to a nonprofit. So if Bill Alms logs on and gives 10 times to that nonprofit during that hour, you would only count as one donor. But if you took those 10 donations and gave to 10 different nonprofits, you count as one donor to each of them, if that makes sense. So, and then we also have the unique donor prize grants, and that's for the giving day total. So for the 24 hours, the nonprofit with the most unique donors during that time, we go from first place down to seventh place with prize grants, starting at $1,000 down to $250.
So if I were to go on to the Give Big website on that day, am I able to see sort of when those power hours are, and then I can figure out when I want to give?
Yep. So under our prizes tab out on givebigscv.org, we have the times of the power hours. We'll be sharing it on our Facebook pages like, hey, it's power hour, just really drive that excitement. And then just know that every hour, there will be two golden tickets given to the nonprofits, with the exception of the power hours. So on those two power hours, we're only doing the power hours. We won't be giving away golden tickets during that hour. And then we leave up a leaderboard so you can see who's, you can watch kind of the nonprofits jumping throughout the day with the unique donors as people give, to see where they're landing on that donation scale, as well as the unique donors. So kind of a fun way to create a community and create a little friendly competition.
Wow. And I was just thinking, in terms of the time of the coronavirus, and where we're staying a little bit closer to home. I mean, what an opportunity for people just in the community just sort of to watch something that is local.
Right.
Interesting. Do you have a lot of, have you noticed a lot of people sort of logging in and being there throughout the course of the day and watching?
Yep. Yeah, you see, some of these nonprofits, they've been doing it a long time, and they know how this works, and you'll see some of the same people giving during certain hours. I know nonprofits, they have volunteers, and they'll put out a APB to their volunteer base and say, hey, who wants the 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. shift? Who wants the 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. shift? And asking them to give during those hours to help increase their chances type thing. And I think too, the other thing we try to encourage is, you mentioned the COVID situation. Well, Give Big has been social distance friendly since the beginning. So, and I think, we're really seeing a shift. I know that there are folks who are, there's a real need out there, and they have a need. And then there are folks out there who they have the means to give, and we are seeing that. I just looked at our totals this morning, and already online we've raised over $14,000. And then offline donations, and this is just those who have entered them in on the system, we're at about that too. So we're almost to $30,000 raised already. And I know one of my nonprofits, they're kind of on the front lines with the elderly population, and she's seen someone turned over their whole stimulus check to them. So there's just, there's so much goodness out there, and it is a hard time, and we recognize that, but man, people want to give. And I think, the other thing I really want to, encourage people to, if money is tight, and we get that, Some of the things that people can do to kind of help these nonprofits is creating their own fundraisers on these nonprofits' behalf. And that's a really easy way to help them grow that unique donor base, because you're creating a fundraiser, you're sharing it on your social media with your friends, you're building an awareness for a nonprofit that, maybe nobody had heard of, and you see it all the time. I'm raising money for my birthday, that type of thing. So, it's a great way just to build an awareness for them and help kind of crowdsource those funds and those online donations. So, if you're so inclined to do something like that, it's easy and it's a great way to help these nonprofits.
And you said you were a little bit over 30,000 already?
Yeah.
In total dollars? And now, and we're recording today is Friday the 24th, so we're about 4 days prior to the 24 hours of giving. That's phenomenal. And you said something, it seems like COVID is impacting everybody. The nonprofits that I've spoken with here in Hudson in my work really have talked about this having an impact as well on their nonprofits. Maybe people are giving to foundations or to organizations that are focused on COVID, but your typical sort of nonprofit not focused in that area are you finding that they are kind of hurting right now for dollars?
The nonprofits that aren't kind of on the front lines, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, yes. I mentioned this before the call started, but I have seen. Then we do have some nonprofits that they said that they are good this year. That they have the dollars in place, so they chose not to participate because, again, they wanted to make sure to shine that spotlight on those nonprofits that are kind of on the front lines of the COVID situation. But the reality is, every nonprofit who participates and has participated, this is a fundraiser they do every year. This is a fundraiser that they rely on for funds that they need for their operations. Sometimes I see a little bit of a shift in the dollars. Maybe before it would have been a special project, where this year it might be more of an operational need. Just to kind of keep the doors and open and keep their funding and those kinds of things. But, I've got one nonprofit who's participating, but what they're really doing is they're trying to kind of build an awareness for those that they feel need it more than they do, but they still wanted to participate. They wanted to be out there, but they're asking their donors, hey, consider giving to those on the front lines of this current pandemic. So it really is incredible, the community we live in and the generosity that I see through this job.
That's incredible. How long have you been with giveBig, Sarah?
This is my second year.
Your second year. So what drives your passion about giveBig?
Well, I just think it's I'm kind of not a technology nerd, but I like the fact that it's easy and it's I like the marketing piece of it and being able to market something that I believe in, and it's people want to help, and I like that you can reach a lot of people through this. It's not something we're not selling tickets for. It's not a physical event. We can promote it out on social media. We can promote it through email blasts. Our nonprofits are great about promoting it themselves. And so it's just really been great. So I don't know. And then I love the people. I'm a people person, and the group of nonprofits I have, they are just phenomenal.
There's so many great nonprofits doing great work. And you said you had 82 this year, or a little bit over 80, right?
Yep.
I'm just thinking of it in terms of even if you're not giving necessarily a dollar to every one of them, what a great way for the community to see what great nonprofits we have locally.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it builds an awareness, with it being St. Croix Valley wide. We could have a nonprofit in Polk County, and when you log on to the website, you're able to, you can sort by nonprofit name. If you know the nonprofit you want to give to, you can pull them up by name. Maybe you don't know and you just want to sort by the children and family category. And then you can see all of the nonprofits in the St. Croix Valley that are registered that support children and family, and you can choose one or more to give to. Or you can sort it by your community. I think myself, I live in the Osceola community, and I'd seen giveBig for years. And so it was probably the year prior to starting here that I really kind of dove into it and realized what it was all about. And so, you can sort by the nonprofits in your community, and there's an incredible amount of groups right in my backyard doing this work. So it's just a lot of different ways to kind of build an awareness for the community, and then to kind of expand that nonprofit reach. So we have one nonprofit that they obtain donations from all across the United States. So.
Wow. So what is that URL? I don't think how do you get to this website?
Yep. So it's givebigscv.org, www.givebigscv.org. And then you just click on the donate button, and what happens, it pulls up every nonprofit that's participating. But then like I mentioned, you can filter it down based on whoever you're looking for, or based on your interest and things like that.
So from a user perspective, how easy is it to donate through this platform?
It's pretty easy. So most of the nonprofits, they've created kind of a checkout flow, and they want their donors to know, what does $25 mean to their organization. So a lot of times when you log on and you donate, a window will pop up, and you can choose a pre-loaded donation if you'd like. Otherwise, you can set your own based on what you want to give. But it's a real tangible way for you to see kind of what your dollars are going for. But it's really, really simple. It's all, through your credit card, things like that. And so it's pretty user friendly.
Great. Is there any kind of social media around giveBig as well? Like, can you log into like Facebook or whatever and give directly to giveBig, or does it automatically just lead you to the website?
It'll lead you to the website. Yep. We don't, you can go to our Facebook page and link to our website and watch, for special things and stuff like that. But it is, sorry. You can't donate right from the Facebook page.
Sure. So when does the 24 hours start then? Is that right away, late night Monday into Tuesday, or?
Yep. So giving opens at midnight on Tuesday. So it goes from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. And so that's when we that's how we keep track of the prizes and stuff like that. And then what happens is we wait. A lot of our orgs, they still have a donor base that would prefer to send a physical check. And so then we give them some time to submit those offline donations, but it's fun to get that grand total a couple weeks after giveBig, after all offline are in. And then a lot of them, a lot of our organizations get a matching grant. And so they work really hard to get those matches. And donors love to see their money doubled. Everybody likes a good deal. And if you're going to give and it's going to be doubled, it really incentivizes people to give more.
So it's like matching dollars go into it. Then, like, you can see if I give this, it'll be a match.
Yep. Any org that has a matching grant, it'll say matching grant live on their page. And so you'll know that there's a match available.
Gotcha. Well, I cannot thank you enough for joining us today on Western Wisconsin Journal, Sarah. I just think, again, what a great way to log in maybe over the weekend, see what nonprofits are out there to potentially give to, and then again, waiting till that day to see looking for those power hours, looking for those golden ticket opportunities.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Log on and do your research this weekend. Maybe if you find a nonprofit that you're interested in, start, building that fundraiser, and then that way it's ready to go on Tuesday. So, but yeah, just log on to the website, givebigscb.org, and check it out. It's like I said, it's incredible. We live in a very generous and incredible community.
Indeed. Thank you so much for joining us, Sarah. And we'll see you next time on Western Wisconsin Journal.
Give Big is an easy way to get involved with your community.
Give Big serves our local community.
One website,
24 hours of giving.
many nonprofits. Your Give Big donations stay within our community.
giveBig is an online fundraising tool to help local nonprofits expand their reach. The nonprofits that participate in giveBig are doing the work in the St. Croix Valley. The dollars are staying here, they're being utilized here, and so that's been something that we've focused on since giveBig began 8 years ago.
Give Big serves our local community.
Join me and many other organizations for Give Big.
Join us this year for giveBig St. Croix Valley.